Okay guys, so this is 14.1. We're going to do distance in the coordinate planes as your standard, and your objective is to be able to use absolute value to find the distance between 2 points on the coordinate plane with at least 80% accuracy on the independent practice that you're given. Use one vocabulary word: reflection. Basically, it's a transformation, it's a change where you flip or mirror an image or a point across an axis or line of reflection on the coordinate plane. And then again, remember, reflections are located on the opposite side of the axis. So if I have a point right here, when I mirror, it's going to be on the opposite side. If I have it here, if I mirror, it's going to be over here. Okay. And it has the same distance. So if from here to here is 2, from here to here is going to be 2. Okay. From here to here is 1, from here to here is going to be 1. Okay. So when points are reflected across the x-axis, what happens is, again, so if I have it on if I have a point right here, and I'm gonna reflect it across the x-axis, that means I'm gonna take it here, I'm gonna mirror over here, it's gonna be right here. So let's look over here. I have 3, -2. This one's gonna be 3, 2. So again, I'm reflecting across the x-axis, and what changes? The x is the same, what changes is the y, because I'm going on the opposite side of the x-axis, meaning my y is gonna be the opposite. Okay, so that's what happens when you have here. So let me go ahead and give you one to do for this one, and then you tell me what it is. So imagine that I have a point that is 3, -5, and I'm gonna flip it. Okay, I'm gonna reflect it across my x-axis. Give me the new point for that. Okay. Okay, next one. If I'm gonna have a point here and I'm gonna reflect it across my y-axis, again, remember, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Same distance, 1, 2, 3 is right here. So this is -3, 2. The y stays the same, but the x's are the ones that change. Okay, so in this case, the x coordinate is gonna be opposite. Okay, so let me go ahead and give you one to do for this one. So imagine I have 7, 3. Give me, and if I'm gonna reflect it across the y-axis, what is gonna be the value for that reflection? Okay, to find the distance in the coordinate plane, you have to either add or subtract, and you only add or subtract the value, the coordinate that is different. So for instance, in this case, you look at the x's, the x's are the same, you're gonna ignore those, and what you're gonna work with is the y values. Okay, if I have something that look like so, my y's are the same, so I'm gonna ignore those, and I'm gonna work with my x values. Okay, so make sure that you know that, otherwise you're gonna have a hard time. So again, if x is the same, you work with the y's. If y is the same, you work with the x. Okay, now if they're on the same side of the axis, okay, so if both of this, like right here, they're on the same side, okay, and they're right here. So what I have to do, I'm going to subtract this from that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to subtract absolute values. Okay, so for instance, if I have this right here, it says 3, 2, and this is gonna be 3, 5. Remember, this one's I just ignore because they're the same. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say 5 minus 2 is 3, right? Or if I start with 2, I'm gonna say absolute value of 2 minus 5. So that's -3, but absolute value of -3 is just 3. So then I have this is a 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So let me go ahead and give you and do this one right here. So again, I'm gonna ignore the ones because they're the same. I'm gonna work with this right here. So I'm gonna say absolute value of 3 minus 5. That's -2, but absolute value of -2 is just 2. So distance is 2. Okay. On this one right here, the ones are the same. So I'm gonna work with the y's. I'm sorry, the x are the same. So I'm gonna work with the y's. So I go absolute value of 3 minus -5. You can do it that way. I'm not gonna do it like that because this is 7th grade math and we haven't reviewed this. But let me go ahead and do the other way. So I'm gonna say absolute value of 3 plus absolute value of -5. So absolute value of 3 is 3. Absolute value of -5 is 5. So that gives me 8. Okay. And the reason why, if they're on the opposite side of the axis, is because if I have 1, 3 is right here, and then I have 1, -5, which is right here. Okay, I have to go 1, 2, 3, and I had 5 more because you're passing the border, the line. Okay, so that's what we have to add those two. Okay, because they're on the opposite side. So let me go ahead and give you a few to do. Okay, go ahead and find the distance between those 2 points. And go ahead and find the distance between those 2 points. Okay, let's do this one last. So we have a car that's going from this point to that point, and each of the units is 10 miles. Okay, so first thing we have to do is find its distance. So remember, this is the same, so I'm gonna ignore those. Because they are on the opposite side, one is a positive, one is a negative, I'm going to have to add. So I'm gonna say absolute value of A plus absolute value of -1. This is A plus 1, that's 9. So those are my units, but each unit is 10 miles. Okay, so that's going to be 10 times 9, which is 90 miles. Okay, so that's the second step. And then it's saying that it's going at 90 miles per second. Sorry, it's going at 60 miles per hour. So how long would it take it to go 90 miles? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a ratio, so I can say 60 miles every hour, and I want to get to 90 miles. So what was this right here? We don't know this right here. That's a question. Okay, I can butterfly it, so I can say 90 times 1 is 90 divided by 60. So 90 divided by 60 is okay. So we'll take this part 1.5 hours to travel 90 miles at 60 miles per second, given the distance right here. Okay. Let me go ahead and give you one to do for this one, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, so go ahead and give me the distance between those 2 points. If every unit is 5 miles, give me the miles. And then if it travels at 60 miles per hour, how many hours would it take to go that distance? Okay, God bless you. Bye.